Hey, Terry, good morning. Sorry for the late start, folks. Sometimes when you get old like I am, you go from a okay guy to a complete idiot, which I did the complete idiot mode this morning. I'm texting Terry, your picks are scratched. He's like, no, they're not. I guess they are. No, they're not. I'm like, look, race 7 starts to pick 4 at Parks. He's like, Rich, we're doing Turf Paradise today. Like, oh man. Anyway, that's what happens sometimes when you get old.
I
Right
know
there.
that for sure. Yeah, it happens
And
to me. Like
oh,
today, I
go
thought
ahead.
today was the 23rd.
Hmm.
Then I changed my clock to say the 23rd, and then I went, wait a minute, it's only the 21st.
And then nothing works when you change the clock on the computer to the wrong day.
That's right. Yeah.
Yes, I know. I bought a new computer that was set forward one day because my computer was crashing. I was trying to log into things, and nothing would let me log in. I'm like, why won't anything let me log in? And then I looked, and then I changed the date, and everything would let me log in. I was like,
All right.
you got to be kidding me. Well, somebody who's getting off to a better day today, Terry, are the McCarthys, right? Are you
Yeah, they are. They've got a brand new little guy.
baby girl?
That's girl. Oh, that's right. She is a girl.
Yes, baby girl. There you see on Trevor's Facebook page. There's Katie with their baby girl, Riley McCarthy.
She looks really happy
and tired.
Yeah, I love babies. I really love babies. So
yeah, well, Trevor and Katie are friends of the show, and obviously, we're glad to see that baby Riley is here. Baby Riley is probably going to be considering the parents a super jockey, no?
I think so. Yeah, probably going to break all kinds of records.
Could probably put in the Hall of Fame already, Terry.
That's right.
Absolutely. Yep. Once again, Trevor, Katie, congratulations. I know that's the first one changes your life forever in ways that you cannot even imagine, right, Terry?
It does. Yeah, I got really, really great memories holding my children when they first came into this world. It was really something. As a matter of fact, on one of my pictures, I think it's forget, but I think it's on the Racing Today. Anyway, it has me holding one of my grandchild. So
yeah, I remember when my son was born. Trevor said it was a long 24 hours. For some reason, the first one seems to take a little bit of while to come out. It's pretty doesn't want to come into the world, Terry. And then the second one just comes right out like boom, here I am. It's much different, right?
You're right about that because on my wife on the first one went through 32 hours of labor, and then on the second one, when we were going to do natural childbirth, when we got to the hospital and I checked in, they raced me in, and the baby. They said to her, "Okay, you can have the baby." And she did, and so we got the hospital at 10:20. She had the baby at 10:37.
Made up for the first one.
That's right. 17 minutes.
Yeah, I mean that's basically how it went for me too. So it was something to behold. I don't know. Did you cut the umbilical cord?
No.
I did.
I did. Oh, no, they didn't even offer that, but they did put my daughter into my arms before they even put them to my wife. So and I remember her just kind of crying, opening her mouth, and
I remember both. Yeah,
it's great.
It is definitely childbirth is definitely a very interesting thing for sure.
It is.
Speaking of changing your life, Terry, you and I ought to do this, Terry, at Indiana Grand, and there'll be a link to this on horseracingtoday.net. We link to all the stories that we talk about, so you can make sure if you miss something and you want to see something, you can go on over to horseracingtoday.net. We booked the shows, put everything back in there. But Indiana Grand's going to start a contest called the Road to Louisville. It's 18 weeks of betting action starting January 8th, and it's going to go through, I guess, all the way to Kentucky Derby Day. The winner is going to get, I think, like $1,000 or something like that, but they're also going to get $15,000 towards buying a horse and $15,000 towards the first year of upkeep for that horse.
That's right. Sounds like a really great contest. I'm very excited about it. So,
do you want to do it? Do you want to do it individually, or do you want to do it as a team?
Let's do
it. And then you and I can agree on what horses we want to bet in these contests, or how do you want to do it?
Yeah, let's do it as a team. I think that works good. I think we're a good team, so I think that worked really well.
I don't know about yesterday or the day before that or the day before
Well,
that.
I don't know, but yesterday, did you see how much that pick five paid for only four? You know, the favorite one, the last race, which was
The
my
6 horse barely.
barely, which
Mm.
was my one key horse, and
Mhm.
but it didn't even pay 5 for 5, so it
Yeah, that
paid
was
four
just
out of
a
five.
complete crazy races there. No,
Oh,
it made me,
absolutely.
the second. So I had the 3 in the first leg. In the second leg, I switched out the 3 for the 6.
Yeah,
And
I
I don't
know.
know why, but perhaps you know why. And I'm sure this has happened to other horse players. So this has happened to you. Let us know about it on Twitter. Let us know about it on Instagram. We don't do Instagram, Facebook, or just email me directly at gtsrichb@gmail.com. Tell us about, like, when you change horses at the last minute, if it ever works to your advantage.
Never does to mine, so I'm always sorry I did it. Yeah.
I don't know why that works like that either to me, but oh my God, it just drives me crazy. But hopefully, you and I won't make any changes. So I think, Terry, what we can do is we can make this like a regular part of the show. Like, I'll sign us up for it today. Figure out what we need to do, and
Okay.
then what we'll do is we'll keep track of it on the show. Right?
Sounds good.
I think it'll be
Yeah.
a lot of fun, and hopefully we win. We'll name the horse racing today.
Yeah.
Terry and Rich,
That's right.
something like that. All right, we're just 2 old men and a horse. That's what we'll call it.
Okay.
Speaking of old men and horses, Terry, you had yesterday your best bet. How did your best bet do?
Well, my first pick, Bahama Star, however you say that, number
Yeah, good
6 ran.
enough.
Well, ran second,
Mm.
and then my second pick ran third,
Oh,
and my third pick ran out of the money, and a long shot won the race. So, it wasn't a great day, but that's not too bad. I paid $280 to place. So if you play, I usually play, if I'm going to play win and place, I play like 10 to win and 20 to place.
I see.
So if it runs second, that usually gives me my money back or close to it. But today,
hold on.
yeah,
You always
I
go a
am.
little too fast for me. There you go, Terry. Now we go. Terry's best bet. There you see Terry. There you see his best bets, and
Yep.
away we go.
It's at Turf Paradise, and it's the 5th race. I like number 1, Full Bridle
Phantom.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Full Bridled Phantom. Won his last race at Turf Paradise at today's distance and likes this track. He's finished in the money 7 out of 9 times, won 2 of those. And the trainer in the last 14 days have won 8 out of 18 starts with 3 seconds.
Mm.
And I like number 2, Giant Payday, which I hope I have today. Has won.
Yes, indeed. That's that's always the game plan, right?
That's
It doesn't
it.
always
Yeah.
work out that way, Terry, but
No, but that's what you always think is going to happen.
mhm.
At least be optimistic about it. Never think you're going to lose, because if you do, you're just telling yourself you want to lose. So, okay. Anyway, number 2, Giant Payday, has won 2 races in a row, earning the highest last race speed rating, and has the best turf speed among today's starters. And then number 3, Life's Been Good So Far.
Yes, Joe
Finished
Walsh, right? Life's been good so far
so
for
far.
me. I think that's Joe Walsh, right?
I think so.
Mm-hmm.
He finished third versus similar in his last race, and has a good 4 furlong workout on December 9th at Turf Paradise. 4 furlongs, 47-1 handling, which was 8th best out of 26.
Well, hopefully life's been good so far for me. Joe Walshong will you get us back into there and we get a nice trifecta out of this one today, Terry. That's what we're hoping for, right?
Yep.
We got to hit some big one this week, so that way, or at least hit one, so we can pay for some Christmas presents, right?
That's right.
Well, Terry picked race number 4 because we're going to do Turf Paradise, but you missed race 5, so because the pick 4 starts a hope in race 6, Terry, because I was hustling at the end to get caught up. Is that right? For our 5-4, all right. So we're going to start Turf Paradise, race number 6, Terry. It is 6.5 furlongs on the main track, Terry. And typically the distance does favor speed with of the 26 races so far, Terry. There's been about 19 of them were won by speed horses with 35%. So about 8 horses going wire to wire. The typical winner runs second or maybe third or somewhere in the first 3 at the opening quarter mile marker, and typically a second at the half-mile marker. So you want horses that are forwardly placed, Terry, which is kind of what we're looking at. Who do you think you're going to start your Fly 4 with today?
Number 6, Mulligan. He's got a really good jockey, high percentage winning right now. Has the highest last speed rating. He just won at Turf Paradise at 6 furlongs. He likes to run on top, but he can come from behind, which is an angle I like. And then his early speed style will help his chances. The jockey in the last 7 days has won 3 out of 7 and a second.
Yeah, he comes in from, this is his third start off a layoff. He improved nicely from race 1 to race 2. But prior to coming to Turf Paradise, he was running over at Del Mar, Santa Anita. And as you know, Terry, I'm a big fan of the big track to small track angle. So I do like Mulligan. In fact, over at Guaranteed Tip Sheet today, she is, one of our 3 best bets on the day. You do see at this track, there is appearing to be a little bit of an inside bias. Doesn't necessarily apply to the one horse necessarily, but it does do okay on the rail. So my first pick, Terry, is Sunshine Beach. This is another horse that's making its third start off a layoff. And if you look at the last race, Terry, it's a huge improvement from the first race off a layoff. And additionally, Terry, what I like is when you look at the fractions were much sharper. Wrong number. The fractions were much sharper too. So for me, Sunshine Beach, third start off a layoff, nice improvement from race 1 to race 2. Does have some of the best early pace figures, so should be a part of the action right away.
Okay, I didn't pick it as one of mine, but you've talked me into it.
All right, man, better get him out of there then. All right, who else do you like that I don't have to talk you into?
Okay, number 5, In the Wind. He has the best dirt speed among today's starter. He's actually tied. He came in from Emerald Downs and ran on the turf one time at Turf Paradise. Ran just a mediocre race, but I don't really believe he likes turf, and I think he's back to dirt where he can do his best. He is a closer. And he's got, halfway decent workout last time. So,
well, you mentioned he doesn't like the turf. He ran on the turf 3 times. He never hit the board once. I think the weather down there at Turf Paradise today is supposed to be sunny, so the track should be fast, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when you look at the horse on a fast track, Terry, In the Wind has been in the money 7 of 8 times, 3 wins, 2 seconds, and 2/3. So I do agree with you that In the Wind is a horse that should fare well, especially on a fast course. For me, Terry, the next pick comes down to the 2 horse or the 4 horse. It's Alexis, but Alexis didn't run so well last time on turf at Turf Paradise. Now it's moving to dirt. So with that in mind, I'm going to go with Second Grace, who's yet another horse that's making a third start off a layoff. Showed some improved figures again last time out in its second start, especially in its 4 furlong numbers. Mm-hmm. So I expect you're going to see further improvement in the third start off a layoff for Second Grace.
Yeah, and I like that horse too. It was actually in my picks. The jockeys won 24% of the races that he's ran at this meet. Mm-hmm. And this horse has already ran at Turf Paradise and showed that it can run there.
Do you want to go 4 deep in this race, or do you want to go? Well, I know in your hot dog you went pretty deep here, so we'll go 4 deep here.
Okay.
For me, like I said, if there's a scratch or there's any race changes, I would put the 2 in next. How about you?
Okay, the number 8, Street Sonata. It's been off since April, but it actually has a halfway decent workout in preparation for this. Mm-hmm. It has a decent jockey and a pretty good trainer. So that would be my 5th pick.
Mm-hmm. Well, he did run well off the break last time when he came to work at Turf Paradise. So maybe he runs well off the break, but has only won once in the last 10 races. And most of the time is at least 2-3 lengths off the leader at the wire. So we'll definitely need to improve. Race number 7, Terry, is 1 mile on the main track. It's a claiming 3,500 non-winners of 2 lifetime. And when you look at 1 mile, Terry, on the main track, so far they've run 36 races. About 24 of them, 25 of them were won by horses that you would consider speed. And 7 horses have gone wire to wire. So it's not been one that's favored overwhelmingly like horses that are first or second. In fact, the average winner is probably around third at the quarter mile marker and second or third at the half mile marker. And there's an absolute outside to inside bias here, Terry. Although in the last week they had 8 races, 3 of them were won going wire to wire, and 6 of the 8 were won, or 5 of the 8, excuse me, were won by speed horses. So last week there was a little bit of a flip in the bias.
Yeah, and actually, I like number 6, Capper. Has Lindy Wade, which is a good jockey. I like 26% at this meet winning percentage. Drops in class today, and the trainer, whenever he's claimed a horse, wins 25% of the time with claiming horses. And then it has the highest speed figure at today's distance, and it has the best dirt speed among today's starters.
I have the 6 horse too, Terry. You're not was claimed, right? And now they're moving it down from where they bought it 2 classes.
Yep.
You don't find that to be a little bit worrisome? I mean, it probably wins. Maybe they're just trying to get their money back. I don't know. Because the purse here is not all that high at all, right? The purse is 11,480, so probably maybe break even for them, but does strike me as a little bit suspicious, Terry.
Well, I think they're doing it because if you look at its performance, it's only had one winner. That was at Santa Anita back in February of this. I think this year. This year. Other than that, it's not ran very well. So I think they really think it's been overplaced and too high of races. So
I like number 7 here. Hello, Handsome, Terry. This happens every time I open a door. But in any case, this is another first-time claim, but it's not moving down. It's staying in the same level. Ran at the non-winners of 2 last time out at the same level. Was well bet, 7-2 horse. But trainer ML Pierce wins at 23% when taking a first-time claimer back to the track. And all you have to do is probably rewind one race, Terry, to the race prior to being claimed, which was the maiden claiming win. If it runs that same race that it ran there at today, the horse is probably going to be a 2-time winner.
Yeah, I like this horse too. It's actually my 3rd pick. It came from from Golden Gate Fields from earlier this year, and it did okay there. And those horses coming in from Golden Gate Fields, I think, really usually do pretty well at Turf Paradise. And it has a good jockey, and the trainer's pretty decent. And as you said, it already won at Turf Paradise. So I think this horse is a good choice.
So who else do you like?
Okay, I like number 8, Infatuate.
Yes,
Infatuate. He has, finished 3rd against tougher horses. He's dropping in class, although that was a turf race. And the trainer, when dropping down 2 classes, win 32% of the time. The horse hasn't ever ran at Turf Paradise. It's coming in, well, on the dirt it hasn't. It's coming in from Golden Gate Fields, and it has a high percentage trainer, has the highest last speed rating.
Yeah, there's a lot of positives in this horse, except for it's run 20 times and only won once. I mean, Jonathan Wong is doing very well down in Turf Paradise. He does a lot of, as you know, work up around you at Gulfstream Park. Tried his hand in Southern California, struggled a little bit, but the only thing that worries me a little bit about this horse again is that it just doesn't seem to know where the winner's circle is. Right? It's one of those horses that probably finds a way to lose and not a way to win. As I tell my son when we talk about sports all the time, winners find a way to win and losers find a way to lose. I'm a little bit concerned that this horse does not know how to win, but when you look at all of its numbers across the board, Terry, all of its numbers are pretty solid relative to the rest of the field, particularly some of those late pace numbers. So if Infuriate is close coming into the out of that turn, does have the late legs to get the job done. My last pick here, Terry, is the 1 horse, Track bound, Terry. It's making its second start off a layoff. Another one that really doesn't have much of a history of winning. But then again, this is a claiming 3,500 non-winners of 2 lifetimes. So you're not going to get the best of class here, so to speak. But you do have a nice, not a bad run last time out, but it was post position 11. So it had to run wide, had a difficult trip. But when you look at those fractions, regardless of the more difficult trip, relative to the fractions that the horse put up in pretty much every other race so far, they're considerably better. So I'm expecting an improvement in race number 2 off the bench. And if so, some of those fractions, if it can run those same fractions off the inside instead of the outside, I think it'll have a good chance to be closer to the pace. And then perhaps even an opportunity to go wire to wire.
All right. Well, if there's a scratch, I like number 2, Sheikla's Destiny. They tried blinkers last time and didn't like it, I don't think. So they took them back off. It run its first race here in November at a mile, and it's actually at a mile finished in the money 5 times. Winning one of those, and it's
out of 8 races,
Yeah, and that's really good. And this year, it's won a race and finished in the money 5 times out of 9 races. So this is a horse I think you need to be
aware of, scared of.
Yep.
Yeah, there's always a horse to be scared of, Terry. Mm-hmm. Race number 8, Terry. This one is 6 furlongs on the main track, as we mentioned before. It tends to favor horses that get towards the front. Tends to have a little bit of an inside bias, but not overwhelming bias. Red Nova, Terry, is on the rail. Last time out, dueled weekends, 4th time off a layoff. Looking back at his past races, 4th off a layoff, should do fairly well. Despite the fact that it did fade a little bit last time out, when you look at those early pace numbers, it really was pretty hot. And it didn't really have a race like that prior. So I don't know that there's anybody else in this race that's going to be able to push as hard as the one was pushed as hard as the one that was last time. Maybe the 5, maybe the 4. So I expect the one to have a really good shot to get off the rail, Terry, and take them again from wire to wire.
Oh, I totally agree. Is my first pick. And I threw out that last race because he had really jumped up in class, or she had. And now she's back to the class where she can be very competitive. As you see, she had a 2nd and a 1st at Turf Paradise here. She has the best dirt speed among today's starters. And the jockey's been really going great guns in the last 7 days, winning 3 out of the 7 mounts.
Mm-hmm. So. Another horse that's dropping a couple classes off the last race, but you mentioned that was because the horse had moved up. Has done really well at 8 of 11 at Turf Paradise. So who else do you think is going to run well in this race, Terry?
Okay. I like number 9, Trans Mississippi. Has a high percentage jockey. Again, Lindy Wade is a good jockey. And has the highest speed rating to today's distance. Had a bullet workout December 16th of 35.4 Turf Paradise. Was the best out of 8. It's won a race here, and it likes the distance okay. It's won 2 out of 14.
So the next race, Terry, is let's figure out our next horse in this race, because the next race, Terry, I think is they're all pretty tough to kind of really work out. So the other horse that I kind of mentioned that does have some speed, I don't like the way it ran out last time, and that is the 4 horse Lovely Linda.
Yeah.
But it does have a lot of early speed, Terry. And when you have a lot of early speed at Turf Paradise, that can be a positive, but it had been running at smaller tracks. So I'm a little bit concerned that maybe those numbers aren't so good. I like the 8 horse perhaps maybe as another choice in here. It's just, this is not really a what you would call not the best of horses here, Terry, for sure. But the 8 horse ran into some early tough for me on this next one, Terry, because they're all not so good. You have this horse, the 8 horse, in the money, 9 of 17 at Turf Paradise. Seems like it likes the different distance, hitting the board in 8 of 14. So to me, it's a toss-up between the 8 horse, the 4 horse. Anyone in there that you like?
I like the 4.
You like
the 4 is actually my 3rd pick.
All right.
If you look at this year, it's out of 5 races, been in the money 4 times, and it's won once. Yeah, it didn't have a great race this last time. It had a little bit of an excuse, was a little bit wide coming in the stretch.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, so that horse, like I said, when you look at these horses, sometimes it's tough. You know what I'm saying?
it
Because a
is.
lot of them haven't really done a whole lot. So you got to look for something that the horse might do that comes back. That maybe the 3 horse, the second time off a layoff, might be a good angle there too. Is there a 4th horse you want to stick in here, Terry?
I like the 5 in class.
Mm-hmm.
And what I like the workouts. If you look at the workouts, it hasn't ran since June. It's had like 3 or 4 workouts right in a row that have been pretty darn good.
Mm-hmm.
And it actually has never ran at Turf Paradise, but it I think it's a horse to be concerned about.
All right. I mean, for me, it's tough, Terry. We can go with the 5 horse. I had the 8 horse ranked higher, but okay.
Well,
I- If
let's do
not,
this.
it's okay, Terry, because they're all. I mean, they're all. You convinced me this time, Terry, because the
Okay.
5 horse coming off the break, I do like the fact that it has a 3 furlong work in 36 seconds,
Yeah.
which is a pretty good workout. So I hopefully that means that the horse likes the track. A lot of times, a horse that's been running poorly, if it has a change of track, it does respond. So if you look at the last time, this horse kind of changed up. It went to it was running at Laurel, kind of didn't run very well. Then it went off to Charlestown, maybe. I think that might be
Hmm.
Charlestown. And then it did fire. And then it went back to Laurel and fired again. And then it didn't run so well at Laurel. And they ran it at Pimlico, ran okay at Pimlico. Did not like, apparently, Mountaineer at all. So now they're shipping the horse out west. So let's see if maybe the track change is a wake up call for the 5 horse. I think
Could
maybe
be.
that's a good angle in there.
Yeah.
Race number 9, Terry, is the closing the show. 7.5 furlongs on dirt. We can only go 3. This is a maiden optional claiming for $30,000. So a little bit higher caliber race, Terry. There is a prohibited, I don't know if it's prohibited favorite, but it looks best on paper in some respects. And that's the 7 horse
That's right.
predetermination.
Yeah,
Go
and
ahead.
actually, Rich, this race is on turf,
Yeah,
not
7.5
dirt.
furlongs on turf. Did I
Yeah.
say that? I thought I said 7.5 furlongs on turf.
And I thought you said dirt, but
No, all right, my
that's
fault.
my
It is on
fault.
turf. Yeah. No, it's my fault. Don't know even what I'm saying today.
Okay.
So I do kind of like the 7 horse here, Terry. What do you think?
Oh yeah, it's my top pick. Matter of fact, I use it as a single in my hot dog. And this is a wide open race, but I think this horse looks pretty darn good. It has a one of the highest speed ratings. It has one of the best turf speeds too, and it's ran twice here. Ran a second in its last race out, and I think it's getting ready to break its maiden here.
All right. The 4 horse Unusual Dancer, Terry, has been close at breaking its maiden 4 out of 5 times at Turf Paradise and 5 out of 7 times at the distance. Should improve in its second start off a layoff. Did run one of its better races last time out. So if indeed it does improve this time out, in fact, if you look at the last race, its fractions were better than it had run at a mile so far. So I feel like the 4 horse Unusual Dancer, Terry, in the second start off a layoff, history says it'll be as good as the first, maybe a little bit better. So I feel like this is a horse that has a chance to improve. Should be closing late, Terry, which it's kind of run towards the front and towards the middle. In both cases, it had the ability to close. So I feel like if there's a horse that's going to upset us with a late charge, it's going to be the 4 horse.
Oh, I agree. It's my third pick. Here's another one coming in from Golden Gate Fields, Pleasanton area, Santa Anita. And it didn't run all that terribly. If you look at that Santa Anita race, it ran a good third,
Mm-hmm.
and against pretty high class horses compared to these. So, yeah, this is a horse that I would take.
Yeah, 6 of its last 10 starts, Terry, have been what I would call high quality races. So that's probably tops in the field. All right, so we only have one more horse that we can fit in here. Who do you want it to be?
Number 5, Pluma, has the highest race speeding.
Which I
Actually
think means pen in Spanish, but I could be wrong.
I don't know.
Uh-huh.
And the trainer wins 25% of the time when it goes from a route to a sprint. It finished third last race out here at Turf Paradise at a mile, and it likes to run on top. So shutting up just a little bit could help it out. It has one of the best turf speeds among today's starters, and it has a fairly decent workout. Last time out, ran 47.3 handling at 4 furlongs. Was the eighth best out of 49.
Yeah, and
Workouts.
today it's going to get a little bit of a weight break too with Sophia Baradella. As I hope that I pronounced her name correctly. So that weight break might be the difference between the horse being able to maintain its speed all the way around the track. So hopefully that wraps it up, Terry. If there is a scratch in here or some other horse that you want to add, I would add the two. Who would you add?
The number 2, Canterbury Gold.
All right, so there we go. There is our Turf Paradise pick 4. I know Turf Paradise. I know last time we were doing it, we were wished Godspeed because a lot of different things can happen at Turf Paradise. So today in race number 6 at Turf Paradise, we like the 1, the 4, the 5, the 6. In race number 7, the 1, the 6, the 7, and the 8. In race number 8, the 1, the 4, 5, and 9. Race number 9, the 4, 5, and 7. That is our fly for pick 4 today at Turf Paradise, not Parks, where I was operating. I think Parks is tomorrow, right, Terry?
It is, yes. And then Gulfstream is the next day.
Is on Thursday, yes, indeed. I was just confused this morning. So, as we always say, with the pick 4s, vertical bets, sequential bets are always the most difficult to hit. We just like to talk about as many horses as possible. Exactas, trifectas, rolling doubles, rolling triples. Those would be some things that we would also consider here. Many times we have exactas and trifectas in our picks, and sometimes we have some nice shots like yesterday on that 3-horse, but couldn't follow it up because I was an idiot like I was this morning and changed a horse out. Just dumb. All right, Terry. Here's, as you mentioned, that you singled up the 7 in your hot dog pick 4. Tell us about it.
Yeah, in the 6th race, I feel like that's a really wide open race, as I think most of these are. I used the 2, 4, 5, 6, and 8. In the 7th race, I used the 2, 6, 7, and 8. In the 8th race, the 1 and the 9. And in the 9th race, I singled the 7.
And so we have 2 best bets in here today, Terry. In race number 1 at guaranteed tip sheet, the 6 is the best bet. So I went 2 deep in race 6 with the 1 and the 6. In race number 7, 6, 7, and 8. In race number 8, the 1 again is the best bet. So I just put the 2 with the best bet. I figured those would be races I can go 2 deep. In race number 9, I went with the 4, the 5, and the 7 to close it out. There are a couple different ways for Terry and I to come home, but it has to start with the 6-horse in the first leg. Otherwise, we don't have anything else that matches. Right, Terry?
That's correct. Absolutely.
So hopefully we can find a way to weave it together where we get 2 hot dogs and a fly 4. Terry, as you mentioned, you did the Turf Paradise race 4 as your box it up. What do you got here?
Okay, in the 4th race, I have number 3, Blackberry Lisa. I then have number 7, Lasting Light, and number 4, Supa Sisha.
Sista. I messed it up. There's supposed to be a T there.
Oh, okay.
Am I hustling to get us up only 10 minutes late? One more mistake on the day for me.
And then to finish it out, I like the number 1, A Card Sharp.
Since I did Parks for the pick 4, Terry, I said, what the heck? I might as well make it my box it up. Race number 8 is a maiden race, Terry. So you got a couple first-time starters in there. Sharp Red Eagle looks pretty solid to me in race number 8. Loose Ends, another horse that should perform well at 6.5 furlongs. The 6-horse, Just Divine, is a first-time starter, has some nice early works. Mama and Papa were more of a would you say, like they were more mid-pack runners than they were speed horses. But number 7, Make Mine Chrome, is the baby boy of California Chrome.
Oh, wow.
That's cool. California Chrome, if you remember California Chrome, or I look back at its races, California Chrome liked to be in the front.
Yes.
And if you look at Make Mine Chrome, a couple workouts back, had some really strong workouts. So wouldn't be surprised to see Make Mine Chrome, actually, my 4th pick, end up being the first pick in the winner's circle in that race. So Parks race 8, we do the box it up. It is a $1 exacta box, 50-cent trifecta box, 10-cent superfecta box. I don't think we've made it to the superfecta yet, but we've had plenty of exactas and trifectas.
We have, yes.
Indeed, for sure. All right, Terry, I think that wraps that up for today. I hope. Did I miss anything in my haste to be incorrect?
Well, no, just don't forget to subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on Twitter at Horse Race Today. Two
number
is in two.
You see it scrolling on the bottom down
Yep.
there. Indeed, yes.
And like us on Facebook at Horse Race number 2 Day. And other than that, just have a really good week. I've got to go out and do a little bit of finishing up my Christmas shopping this afternoon. So I'll be doing that. And I think that from that point on, it'll be all right. I'm looking forward to tomorrow's parks races because the fields are pretty darn long and it looked like it's pretty competitive. So when it's like that, usually you can get a pretty good priced big four.
So tomorrow's pick for is Parks, not today's. Terry.
Yes.
I was the day ahead like you. You said you thought it was the 23rd. I thought it was the 22nd. What are you going to do? Oh, as always, folks, you can run over to horseracingtoday.net. I will link to all the stories today, including the one about Trevor and Katie having their baby girl and the Indiana Grand Contest. Terry and I are going to enter that as a duo if they allow us. And then we're going to go ahead and try to win that damn thing and get a horse. And then if we get a horse, what we'll do, Terry, I have an idea. We'll open it up to our Facebook, social sites here, and then we'll ask for names. We'll have a contest.
Hey,
whatever name we like the most, because we're going to win this damn thing, Terry.
Yes, we are.
All right.
Always, you always have to know you're going to win.
Oh, we're going to win. I have no doubt in my mind whatsoever at all.
That's good.
So as always, folks, we hope that you have an incredible Tuesday. Get all that shopping done. And as we mentioned yesterday, it is the giving season. So there are a lot of people who are unfortunately less fortunate than we are, no matter how difficult things may be for us or how good things they may be. I'm going to make a challenge today, tomorrow, and tomorrow, well, all the way through Friday, that pick a bet today, any bet today. And if it wins, dedicate the winnings to a charity of your choice. Help some people out who can use it. Till then, folks, we hope you have a fantastic Tuesday and that hope all of your bets and all of your presents this year end up in the
winner's circle.
Absolutely. Have a fantastic Tuesday. Go Turf Paradise.
Bye-bye.